And there's what all the fuss was about. That's the interior. Yep, that's it. Everything is now beige and wood and brown, and it's all tickety-boo. Lost some detail there on those seat belts because everything got sprayed, but look, it's about to get all buttoned up and you won't see a bloody thing. So here we are, a week later, and it is 2 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. Right, so after all the screaming and shouting and gnashing of teeth, here we are. Now, as I said in the introduction, I had repainted that interior, and all that fuss over such a tiny thing. Look, my finger there, problem gone. Yes, rivet counters, yeah. So the interior is beige and everything's painted correctly, and you can't see any of it. And there's going to be more, and then there's wings that go across there and everything, so that's it. So I'm about to button this up, and as per step 3 and 4, that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to trim out the wings, and I'm going to spray everything white and blue. There ain't no Red Baron anymore. Alright, off we go. There we have it, 4 o'clock. It is 2 hours into my second 24-hour part of this build. As you can see, we have made quite a bit of progress. This is just a little dry fit here of all the wings to see how they go, and I've used my new little tricky micro liquid tape just to fit the tail piece there. That's amazing stuff. You put a bit on each surface, let it dry, you put it together, it's sort of almost like contact adhesive, but then you can pull them apart and the stuff scrapes off, so it's great for sort of doing a bit of a dry fit when the part's not actually going to click in. Anyhow, enough waffling, Harry Houdini. All those wings are ready to go, fuselage ready to go, although I'm going to have to do a bit of sanding of the fuselage. The fit is not good. It seemed to fit better when I had it freehand and gluing it, I don't know. Anyhow, I'll be sanding that shortly, and then everything is going to get a coat of paint. So there we are. We are at hour 2. 22 hours to go until I call it quits at whatever stage I'm at. Here we go. It's 6 p.m, so that is now 4 hours into my second day of this 48-hour challenge. I've got some of this nice little light blue on the underside of the wings, and I managed to sand that fuselage back into shape. That was a bugger. It really didn't fit. I don't know, it seemed okay when I dry fit it before I put the interior in. Who knows? Anyhow, it's all nice and smooth now. Everything's blue on the bottom. I'm going to take a dinner break while I wait for that to dry. It's pretty well touch dry now. That's why I've used the Tamiya, because it's really quick to dry. And raining, I'm a bit worried about things anyway. But once that's dry, I'm going to get the white on the rear and then let that dry, hopefully, while I wait for my dinner to finish cooking. And then after dinner, I'm going to get the blue upper surfaces all done. So that has all of tonight to fully dry and be ready for the final assembly tomorrow. There you go. Here we are, it's just after 4:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Don't seem to be able to get a sleep in here at the cottage. My neighbour decided to call, I think it was an overseas phone call that he needed to make at some ungodly hour. And so he's out on his veranda chatting away at the top of his voice, "G'day mate, how are you?" Of course that woke me up. But anyhow, that's okay, good excuse to get on with the little fucker. And do I pronounce that correctly? I'm sure it's called a fucker. Yes, now, in my exuberance last night to get this painting done, and I'm sort of, quite happy with what I've done so far, except, I don't know what I was thinking, I painted the top of the tailplane blue, and it should be white. But I was sort of cooking dinner in the middle. It was a really nice chicken molo. It turned out really good. So I'll need to fix that. So I might as well do that now, because that's going to require a few coats of white to repair that. And there might be a few other little touch-ups. I've got everything else done. I've got the wheels painted. Basically, I got quite a lot done last night, but I sort of was doing bits and pieces in between cooking dinner and watching a movie. Never a good idea not to be focused. Anyhow, let's press on. I'll get this all done, get some breakfast, and then we'll see what we're up to. Just after 6 in the morning. Oh, it's telling me to take the rice out for dinner last night. Well, I did that. Yes, I did the rice. Had a really nice dinner. Yes, it was this chicken molly. Yeah, that was quite delicious. Right, we've got a white tailplane on there, which is quite good, except I managed to somehow get some cat hair in that while I'm painting it, and then try to drag it out with my finger, so I don't know. We'll see if we can't hide some stuff with some weathering. You probably can't see it in the camera. Propeller's finally brown, yay! And I also got some landing struts brown and some skids and things. Oh, speaking of skids, there's a rear skid on the back of here, and it had fallen off in the painting process, and I'd carefully put it to the side, and it was still the green from before, which it shouldn't be, right? It should be brown. So I got it out and I thought, oh, should I glue it in there? Oh, no, because I'm hand painting with bloody Tamiya paint, which is not easy in Australia in our bloody climate. So I decided, no, I'll hold it with a pair of tweezers and paint it. Yes, early in the morning when I haven't had my first cup of coffee. And you know what happened? Ping! Off to the carpet monster. So unless it turns up there is no rear skid on this one, battle damage. Fell off. Okay, Red Baron shot it off. Alright, so that's where we're at, 6 a.m. on a Sunday bloody morning. I'm going to have another coffee and a breakfast and basically just let all this dry and try not to muck anything else up. Oh dear, we're getting close. Final assembly's coming up. It's now 8 a.m. So, sit rep. I have managed to do some weathering actually, and it was a bit of serendipity. Finally, I've actually lucked out and something's gone my way on this build. I had some overspray of the blue down here onto the dark blue onto the light blue, and so I used an old trick where you just, with some very fine sandpaper. These are my little 3M sanding sponges. Very carefully sand off the overspray, and if you've got enough paint layers, you're basically left with the other colour underneath. That worked. That was really good. And then I got to thinking, my pre-shading hadn't really shown through as much as I'd hoped on the wings. What if I gave these wings a little bit of a light sand, which will take the light blue off, and it should expose my Stynel res underneath, which was my pre-shade. And it does, and I don't know how well it turns out on video, but in the actual natural light here, this is great, and I'm going to remember this trick because it really works, at least with my 3M standing sponge. It's a really worn out one, so it's not very scratchy. You have to be gentle, but I got all the relief and all the detail to pop out in these wings. Basically the pre-shading is now actually shining through, so that's actually worked for me. So there you go. That's a success, and Cess was very happy. All right, it's 8 a.m. My breakfast is just cooked. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. God, you can't talk, Harry Denny. You have an Australian accent. What the hell's going on? It's okay. I live in Australia. I think that's quite acceptable. I'm rambling. Need food. Sugar levels are too low. I'm on coffee number 3. Yes. All right, it's 10 o'clock and I have done nothing. Absolutely nothing on the Fokker because I had an unexpected house guest. So I had to actually get dressed and tidy the place up and entertain them and do all that. And so I have lost 2 hours. Now, I've got 4 hours left till 2 o'clock deadline. I'll see how I go. I'll make a decision at 2 o'clock as to whether I extend myself another 2 hours for the 2 hours I've lost. I know I was up early, so let's see what happens. Let's see what I can do in the next 4 hours. Oh, 48-hour build. Oh, what's the time? Holy shit! I've got 1 minute to go! Don't think I'm going to get it finished in time. Now, look, the truth is, between the rivet counters, the unexpected visitors, the noisy neighbours, the giant python, I kid you not, I had to rescue Bass from this. Meow, 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 meow. That sucker was 12 foot long. Not kidding. Yes, no kidding. And then lying down for grandpa nap because it was just all too much. Oh, good news. I found that skid while I was cutting out the machine guns and everything. Bang! Off went a little magazine for one of those machine guns. But rummaging around on the carpet, I found the rare skid. So that's good. That can go back on the end there, and you never know, I might find that magazine. But the thing is, yes, it may be possible to build a fucker in 48 hours, but not in Harry Houdini's life. No, kids, sadly, there's just too much going on. and also, truth be told, I'm not happy with the shade of blue. The shade of blue I wanted was a Vallejo colour, and I just used my new iWater airbrush and started spraying Tamiya, because it'd be faster to dry, and that was the theory. And then I remembered, if you put Vallejo in after Tamiya paint, they react and you end up with snot in the airbrush. And I went, ooh, I don't want snot in my new airbrush. So I sort of rummaged around in the Tamiya paint and I found that blue. It's a bit darker than what I thought it'd be. So look, I'd prefer to get the right colour blue. I'll go and buy tomorrow, Monday, it's going to be Monday for me. I'll go down to a hobby shop and I'll buy the right colour blue Tamiya paint, and I'll respray those wings in that nice lighter shade of blue that I really wanted. I'll also have a bit of time to make out some decals that I need, some custom decals. And, well, we've blown the 48-hour thing. I mean, I'm not even going to try and count anymore. It's pointless! So, this is the end of part 2. We've hit 48 hours, sort of, roughly, maybe. Slept through a lot of it. Snakes bit me. Rivet counters yelled at me. People turned up out of the blue, and people made phone calls in the middle of the night. It's been a shamozzle! Never enter another 48-hour challenge. Even one of your own, Harry Houdini. It's pointless. You can't do them. You're just not that organised. No. Have a look behind me. There's my new display cabinet. Can't even talk. See, can't even talk. Look, I'll show you that next time. I'm too rude. I'm going to sit here and watch some porn, watch some documentaries on my TV or something, and try and catch up on my beauty sleep. God knows I need it. All right, well, look, if you hung in there for the 48-hour challenge, it's sort of still going. It's had some delays, and we're not going to worry about the clock anymore. Next time, I'll just finish the little fucker. Alright, that's it. It's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.